Thanks for watching the Daily Debate live Thursdays with Taghreed Hussein here on Nile TV International. Well, tonight, a very important and timely issue. We're talking about the role of the media. We're talking about social media challenges for today. Social media even became dangerous today as some instigators use it to disseminate the misleading information and also spreading lies and rumors that may cause confusion and definitely also chaos. Researchers said that the last 10 years, some instigators had used the social media to demolish countries and to divide the Arab region, where Facebook and Twitter contributed to the spread of fabricated news, false information, and even news without sources. And those terrorist organizations who are dealing today with this issue are relying on the modern technology and the modern technological devices in order to recruit even members. President Sisi in latest address and at the 8th Youth Conference had explained on how dangerous is this phenomena, the phenomena also of terrorism that is, unfortunately today, is considered to be a monster that has gone out of control for those who launched it, especially as there are countries who have worked to build communication with terrorist elements and terrorist organizations. The president added, however, that no one can directly attack Egypt because it has the strongest national army in the region. Egypt having the strongest national army in the region. Yes, we are blessed to have our army, the shield of this country. A big salute goes to the Egyptian army, the shield of the nation. Discussing this important issue and the impact of the social media today, the role of the media, the role of other institutions. What is fake news? What is deep fake news, fabricated news, and other sources, the role of technology today? We have all the honor and pleasure of having with us live Professor Dr. Hussein Amin, Director of Kamal Adham Center at the American University in Cairo, Professor of Mass Communication. Thank you so much, Professor Amin, for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
And this issue is hitting headlines not only in Egypt, but definitely all over the world. Today, we're talking about social media, but unfortunately, the dangerous impacts of social media in our lives today.
Yeah. In fact, this is very true. Social media gained popularity in a decade like no other medium did in the past. And maybe you are interested to know that out of the 10 major conferences in media and communication, fake news was among the top topics that been debated by world scholars in these conferences. Interestingly, the Middle East also had a good appearance in these conferences because the debate was always about what's really happening in the Middle East, because people think that the Middle East is becoming the home of terrorists. You have mentioned rightly that terrorist organizations are trying to recruit,
yes,
especially young people, by promising them money, by promising them good living, by promising them families, and they are addressing young people in different parts of the Arab world, and this is becoming a problem of radicalization of the youth. This is becoming not only a problem for Middle East leaders, but also it's becoming a global problem. So that's why we see, and I like to see more conferences addressing the same issue, so that it's not only a problem that is confined to Egypt or to Saudi Arabia or to Iraq or other Arab countries, but it is a global problem, and the entire world is going to suffer.
Yeah.
So this is one thing. On the other hand, we have witnessed also that in the past 10 years, a lot of terrorist organizations were using the internet mainly to spread messages, spread rumors, attack political systems and regimes, attacking Arab leaders under the name of Islam. And this is, of course, something that many countries suffered from, especially if you think about it after the year 2003 and what happened in Iraq, Afghanistan, and then what is defined as the Arab Spring that started in Tunisia and came to Egypt, and then now we see countries like Libya, Yemen, and Syria are suffering tremendously because of the division of the different sects, as well as the spread of fake news that ignite different people, different groups against each other to start even a civil war in some cases.
Yes. Professor, the term fake news, and we hear that term a lot also hitting headlines, not only in Egypt, but globally, as you've mentioned, yellow journalism, and also the spread of misinformation. Well, lots of techniques have been used, and the main aim mainly is directed at our youth, as you've mentioned, and having this sense of the brainwash for the youth, using the youth as tools. First of all, let us differentiate between fake news and deep fake news. What's the difference?
Fake news, good question. Fake news is a concept that was introduced a few years ago, where people spreading rumors and sending information and sometimes alter this information to appear as if it's genuine news, but it's not. It's fake.
Yes.
So people on a surface level take it and because they are good people, they share it with others.
Yeah.
So they spread fake news
and misleading information
and, and misleading information to many others. And it's you know, the reason or the goal is to get a wave of this fake news to achieve
a certain target.
Certain target.
Yes.
And certain people who like this kind of articles. And it's cross section, meaning that, you know, I can use deep fake news in sports. I can use it in politics. I can use it in business news. I can whatever, even in entertainment news. But the reason is I need to target certain people who are, you know, consumers of this kind of news.
Yes.
And affect them with my message that I'm going to use them later on for my benefit. This is one thing. Deep fake news, this is the technology that is happening right now, that actually was released by Wired magazine last week. Deep fake news is they use computing to sense all of my features, my picture, my movements, and generate a clone, just like me doing something else. And this is very recent, but there is a lot of you know, implications of using deep fake news in the next 5 years. So right now, I see that the topic of fake news and deep fake news started to be on the table for some Egyptian academics. And there is also talk that artificial intelligence should be introduced as as a science in the media and communication programs in university levels, because this is what we're going to deal with in the next decade.
Yeah.
But it's very premature to come to a conclusion what is AI, which is artificial intelligence, and the media are going to do to fight back this deep fake news that is going to come, and what kind of strategies that we're going to implement, and how we're going to implement it. So we need to be ready, and we need to be ahead of the curve. So I guess this kind of sciences, we need to take it seriously and introduce it in our curriculum as soon as we can.
Yes, as Professor Amin had wisely put it this way, yes, we need to be ahead of the curve. We need to be prepared. We need to raise awareness. We need to know how to fight back. We need to put strategies to make things under control. Fighting fake news is very important, how to fight back. Professor Amin is saying that we're generating a clone, so and maybe more to come in anticipation. However, every institution has a role to play. We'll be talking about that important role. Let's first see this break. And at the 8th National Youth Conference, it was raised, the issue of fake news and how to fight back. Let's watch.
والتواصل كان هاجس واحتياج بيكبر معاه. في البدء كانت الكلمة. اخترع الإنسان اللغة علشان يقدر يعبر بيها عن نفسه. التواصل كان دايما احتياج للإنسان لغاية ما وصلنا لعصر ثورة الاتصالات. وبقى التواصل نشاط يومي بين مليارات البشر، مش مجرد حلم أو هاجس. مع الوقت اكتشف الإنسان أمراض ظهرت مع التواصل ده، أمراض ومشاكل كتير. أبسطها سؤال: يا ترى شباب العالم في زمن السوشيال ميديا وقتهم رايح لده ولده ولده، ولا بيلاقوا وقت لده ولده ولده؟ يا ترى ليه مساحة العبودية للسوشيال ميديا بتزيد كل يوم؟ ويا ترى احنا لسه بنستخدم الوسيلة اللي اخترعناها ولا هي اللي بقت بتستخدمنا؟ من كام شهر في ولاية هندية شاب اسمه شيفا عنده 26 سنة قرر يقف على شريط السكة الحديد واستنى القطر، مش علشان يركبه لكن علشان ياخد معاه سيلفي. القطر فضل يقرب 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 وشيفا بيضحك علشان الصورة تطلع حلوة. شيفا الحمد لله ربنا نجاه، بس طبعا عرض نفسه لإصابات كان ممكن تكتب نهاية حياته. المهم إنهم لما سألوه عملت كده ليه؟ كان رده: كنت عايز أنشر الفيديو على فيسبوك.
Apparently there's something called FOMO. Do you know what FOMO is?
FOMO. F-O-M-O. Fear of missing out.
أغلب الناس دلوقتي على معاها موبايل سمارت فون بيستخدموا الموبايل بطريقة مبالغ فيها عشان يدخلوا على السوشيال ميديا، وده اللي طلع ترم جديد خالص في العالم كله اسمه فومو. فومو اللي هو fear of missing out، يعني ان انا طول الوقت بتشيك او ببص على الموبايل بتاعي، احسن يكون في معلومة مهمة فاتتني، احسن يكون في حدث اجتماعي فاتني، احسن يكون في خبر مش المفروض اكون مش على دراية بيه واعرف.
يعني الادمان هو المرادف الحديث لكلمة عبودية، يعني شيء يستعبدك، يبقى مسيطر عليك، مسيطر على كل وقتك، مسيطر على كل تفكيرك.
بقالي حوالي 5 سنين تقريبا مش متصلة اجتماعيا مع الناس، عبارة عن سوشيال ميديا بس، حياتي كلها عبارة عن صور بس. بقيت مهتمة كمان ان انا اسجل كل احداثي اليومية على الفيس. تقريبا انا لساني ما بقاش يتحرك، ايديا هي اللي بقت تتحرك بس على الموبايل وبتكتب.
هل انا لو قررت ان انا مش معايا الموبايل دلوقتي او مش هبص عليها، ابتدي احس بتوتر مرضي او قلق شديد ان في حاجة ناقصة في حياتي مش عارفة اعملها؟
محمد شاب زي شباب كتير فوجئ انه غرقان في سوء استخدام السوشيال ميديا. الفرق ان محمد اعترف وقرر يلحق نفسه. محمد ما بقاش قادر يتعايش مع فومو او ادمان السوشيال ميديا.
في اخطاء حصلت بسبب السوشيال ميديا، ان انا مش مركز في شغلي، ان انا كنت طول اليوم فاتح الفيس ومش مركز في الشغل. فكرت ان انا اروح للدكتور نفساني او اروح للمعالج نفساني، بس مع الاسف احنا كمصريين ثقافتنا على النت ده مش ادمان. يعني لو رحت قلت لحد مدمن في السوشيال ميديا او مدمن النت مش هيصدقني، ممكن يضحك عليا اصلا. يعني احنا ثقافتنا اللي مفيش حاجه زي كده.
So as we can see, the youth here are talking about FOMO. The fear of missing up. What shall I miss? All the time we are like clicking and seeing what we are missing. And also social media addiction. It is an addiction, isn't it?
It's becoming.
It's becoming
addiction. And there are certain countries are taking certain measures. There is a wonderful movie, is available, by the way, online. It's called The Digital Nation. Digital Nation is one movie that is really produced, showing us wonderful examples of people who are addicted to social media and addicted to the new standard like FOMO. You know, I don't want to miss on anything happening, so that's why I'm connected all the time. And being there. Also, there is a wonderful book that was published by an author that his name is Nicholas Negroponte. By the way, he came to Egypt, which is called Being Digital.
Yes.
Also has to do with the kind of things that the new generations, whether the X generation or the Y generation, the X generation, those who were born with the internet, the Y generation, those who are born with more smartphones. So they are two different people. And we're talking about people who are going maybe in the near future to be multitaskers, like they can do too many things at a given time. But this is not proven yet.
Yeah.
But the X and Y generation, if you would like to punish them, take the mobile away from them. This is a kind of punishment because they are very much addicted and connected with others. They live in tribes and groups, and they share everything almost. So in a society like our society, when we had the mobiles everywhere, these are tools that could be destructive tools.
Yes.
And people, when they are addicted, they don't know, and they don't have parents who are telling them, limit your usage to 2 hours, for example, as in some countries. Do not take your mobile to school, as in also
and
in
also
other
regulations
countries.
also maybe at work that would control
There are so
the
many
story.
companies, they don't allow Facebook in the company or universities. People, when you go over here is something like complete freedom, since we don't have rules or policies that is governing institutions, even in the media institutions. So even in the media institution, people take social media news sometimes, and it happened before, as if it's real news, because social media is faster than traditional media in certain things.
Yes.
But it's also good in other aspects. So
Yes,
we cannot
because
ignore
it would bring, for instance, the viewer amidst inaction.
Absolutely,
when there is reporting. But however, it's a double-edged weapon. It is.
Period. Thank you.
It is a double-edged weapon. Skills to understand fake news. From the eyes of a professor of mass comm, how can we spot that this news is fake? How can we not fall in the trap of the social media and fake news today?
Very difficult. But check the
sources, original. Yes.
Check the sources.
The sources.
The second is use
credible sources.
Absolutely. Credible sources that you know of.
Yes.
But do not take any news
for granted.
For granted, and as if it's original and it is credible and it is accurate. This is in the past. This has been happening in the past. But please, stop here. Question everything. Question. The first question should come to you: Is this real? Is this real news, or is it fake news? Because we used to consume news, and we judge it on also a service value, that it's all accurate, credible news. No, it's not. Not the case anymore, especially when we talk about social media. It's not. You need to check and double check. Who is doing this? People actually, they don't even read the article, but
they share.
But because they are
just share.
happy of the headlines,
Of the story.
they share it.
Exactly, yes.
So this sharing is causing a problem.
Yeah.
And is going to cause a problem because people are spreading rumors.
Right.
People who are educated spreading rumors because they share everything. Is sharing everything bad? It's actually good people. Those are good people, but they share fake news, so they're actually doing damage. They need to know.
There are certain skills for this sharing. Certain skills for sharing.
What do you mean by skills?
I mean that we shouldn't share unless we know the credible sources, unless we are quite sure of what we are sharing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There are, of course, a kind of list of things that one should really ask himself.
Yes.
You know, what
Before
should I do?
sharing.
Before sharing. It's like, one, make sure of the source. Two, double check the information. And three, share if you need to. It's based on, there is a need.
So there is a need for sharing.
And you need to share with a friend, not with your entire
universe.
Yeah, with the entire universe. But they are good people. They
out of noble intentions.
Yeah, absolutely. The second thing that is very important also that, you know, there should be, time has come, that media literacy to be implemented in Egyptian schools up to all level until the university level as a curriculum. Why? Because students in early stages, they will produce by their mobile stories and they share it with the rest of the students of the class. And the rest will do the same. So this dynamic is going to raise awareness for them at very early stages, you know,
yes.
to know.
They will go through the experience at a very early stage.
Yes, they are part of the scene.
Yeah.
So, and then they will, gradually, they will learn how to deal with the news and when they can share it. At the university level is something else. This is when we talk about education, when we talk about media institutions, we have the Higher Council of Media Regulations. We need to see policies that deals with you know, the kind of usage of social media, also policies and regulation dealing with the entities and licensing and providing permissions. There are, and the dynamics of the markets, Egyptian markets over here, these, all the websites must be having a kind of a license to operate. Otherwise, you know, people start spreading rumors from within, and this is very dangerous. We're not saying that this is, there is a ban, as people, they take it, oh, because the license like any other license in the world.
Yeah.
FCC is doing licenses. Ofcom in the UK is doing licenses. France is doing licenses. Netherlands is doing licenses. South Africa is doing licenses. Brazil is doing licenses. Germany is doing fines, giving fines. You know, look at the world map.
Yeah.
There are so many media rules and regulation governing the internet right now. Whether it's through, you know, like the AVDMS, the Audiovisual Media Service Directive in Europe, across countries in Europe, or country by country. And we are not going to invent the wheel. We just provide, we're going to provide, even with you know, in workshops and, you know, to whoever, the examples of how the rest of the world is dealing with this kind of issues.
Yes.
But it's not, you know, it is called responsible freedom. It's not, it's never, it's absolute freedom. There is no such thing. But people, some people here insist that this is a model. I have not seen this model in my life anywhere.
It needs to be regulated.
That's why. The other media councils, they still have responsibilities, along with the IDSC for the rumors, the Information Decision Support Center, as well as the State Information
Service.
The dynamics of this system together is going to provide, from the state point of view, and the government, of course, is one perspective. The others is, you know, for education, as we have mentioned.
Yes.
The third is the people. You know,
and
people
their
in
level of
villages,
awareness.
decision makers, people in mosques, people
Public
in
opinion.
churches, public opinion leaders.
Yeah, think
Those
tanks.
are, so the system, the dynamics of the system will work together, not to eliminate this kind of fake news and rumors, no, but to reduce it to a reasonable...
Through raising awareness.
Absolutely, and raising awareness. Once we raise the awareness of the people, and by the way, it is important to make sure that the people are going to be set a target. Like in the next 5 years, for example, our target is to get 60 million people know quite well about fake news. And because in the past 10 years, this awareness did not exist. Right now, we have awareness, but not to the degree that we would like.
Yeah.
Not to the degree that we
So
really want it.
yes, we need
So
to
we
set,
need to-
set a
to-
target.
Absolutely.
And be ahead of the curve. I remember the quote.
True, true.
Very much clicking.
Yeah.
We're still on the show. A very interesting discussion, a very important one with Professor Dr. Hussein Amin tonight. And the president earlier at the 8th Youth Conference had warned of false rumors on the social media, and he named it as part of the fourth generation warfare. Let's watch more the statements of the president during the conference. We'll be back.
Under the leadership of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, success stories all over Egypt.
مصر في انتظار المزيد من العمل والإنتاج.
New Suez Canal. Developing Sinai. Building on our strength.
القوات المسلحة مسؤولة عن الأمن القومي لمصر.
Building new cities. New social housing projects.
احنا بنعمل أمر التاريخ هيتوقف قدامه كتير.
Developing slum areas. Regaining Egypt's leading role, regionally and internationally. Supporting women empowerment. Engaging the youth.
قيام رئاسة الجمهورية بالتنسيق مع جميع أجهزة الدولة نحو عقد مؤتمر شهري للشباب.
Supporting national industries.
احنا بنتكلم كلام بجد عشان نبني بلد.
Upgrading infrastructure.
الغاز اللي احنا محتاجينه هيتم تدبيره من عندنا هنا من مصر. مصر تستحق منكم اللي ادتكم على مدى آلاف السنين ما أنتم فيه.
Together, we make change.
السلام عليكم. وكل سنة وانتم طيبين ويوم جميل. اتفضلوا استريحوا. اتفضلوا.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi inaugurated the 8th National Youth Conference in New Cairo. The one-day conference began with a documentary that presented Egypt's efforts in supporting young people and that empowering youth has been of utmost priority to the leadership. Another documentary was screened about terrorist threats, showing that in 2018, the world lost $60 billion because of terrorism becoming a global threat for centuries. The conference focused on three main points: The first part of the conference firmly focused on terrorism as a serious phenomenon that threatens the security and stability of the whole globe, and Egypt's strenuous efforts and leading experience in fighting terrorism that contributes to the stability of the whole region. The second part of the conference sought to warn against the danger of rumors and fake news that only have one aim, which is to destabilize and undermine the strikes of successes and achievements that Egypt has been pulling through. The third part of the conference was Ask the President session, which saw the President answering questions submitted online by Egyptians in an attempt to increase public awareness of Egyptians about what is happening in the country. The third part of the conference has received international applause for its richness, diversity and philosophy, based on true democracy in the involvement of citizens in matters of governance and charting the future of the homeland. The 8th edition of the conference complements the plans and efforts of the state towards building bridges of trust with the youth. The conference also contributes to politically, economically and socially empower young people, as well as to immunize them against extremist thoughts.
بقى ابن مصر اللي في 3/7 يقف ويقدم نفسه جيش وأولاده ويمكن أحفاده. تعملوا في كده.
تسلم ايدينا يلي في حب مصر بتضحي بسنينا، يلي انت وفيت وعد كان بينها وبينك، يلي انت كنت شايلها دايما جوا عينك. تسلم ايدينا يلي انت شايل هم بلدك فوق كتافك، كل اللي عرفك واللي قبلك واللي شافك بيدعي باسم مصر ليك الله يعينك.
Professor Amin, we're talking about legislations. We're saying that it needs to be regulated. Different institutions had a role to play. The media has a role to play, and also public opinion, intellectuals, and also concerning constructive dialogue. Yeah, yes, NGOs and more. Who else could be hands-on? Soft power is also very important in that respect.
You know, soft power is a combination of so many things, but it is important that we do what we can do best. Like in the fight of terrorism, there were a lot of things, a lot of media products that were out, and you know, popular products, music, popular songs. Popular. All of these are things that we have not really witnessed before. And then right now, there are film festivals that, you know, they should really bring these issues to the world, because as we discussed earlier, it is a global problem. Everybody is going to suffer. If he's not going to suffer today, he's going to suffer tomorrow. So, in this sense, we're saying, you know, Egypt is a country that witnessed big changes in the past 10 years. Fighting terrorists inside and outside, surrounded with countries that either they have civil wars or they are failed states. And in this sense, in a changing map of the Middle East, we suffer from fake news on the top of everything. So in this sense, although the question, which is legit, is soft power, what we can do, we're doing good, because soft power actually is carrying us. Soft power is carrying. People appreciate music, people appreciate television programs, television series, but also we don't want to overdo it, because there is something called the ceiling effect. Maybe, you know, this soft power, although it is important to have it, and we need to study, the impact, and we take certain measures for doing more in the right direction, not in the wrong direction, in the right directions. And when we need to get an A kinds of products, not any product. We need to get the best of the best media products, best of the best movies, best of the best songs.
Yeah.
Because this is going actually not only to do this country well, but actually is going to mark the history of a very important period of the life of Egyptians and the state during this particular phase where terrorism became a global phenomenon, a global problem for everybody.
Yes.
So, and soft power is very important, and we should be very appreciative for those who already established the media industries in our country, whether film schools or the
and it transcended barriers.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
many countries knew Egypt through the soft power and through the superstars and through
absolutely. Listen,
our drama
and whether people they admit it or not, but Egyptian dialect, for example, is being understood everywhere in the Middle East. Everywhere. I've been to almost every single country in the Middle East. When I speak with my Egyptian dialect, people appreciate it and they like it.
Yes.
So there is, of course, something that
that binds.
Connect us with all the people in the Middle East, where in other countries they can't do the same.
Yeah.
But again, it is a difficult time that we are passing through, and there are certain introduction of new media that is being part of the media scene. And these new media must be regulated and must be studied and must be also used for not only to protect, but also to introduce some products of the same products that being this kind of new media is introduced for. And we look into certain literature and see other countries, how they did, we need to take certain measures because this measure is the benchmark for, at least for me, when I say, okay, we should not really worry because we are moving from here to here.
Yes.
And again, it's going to take some time. Nothing is going to happen tomorrow.
Take some time gradually, however, being ahead of the curve, as Professor Amin said, and also taking steps towards the right direction is very important. The role of soft power is really important, and it can make a difference addressing people's needs and their aspirations and working on their dreams. Let's watch.
معاك يا ريس، ويسقط الخونة ويحيا جيش مصر وشرطة مصر وشعب مصر العظيم. تحيا مصر.
احنا معاك يا سيسي ويسترها معاك ويبارك لك وربنا يكرمك باللي انت فيه يا ابني. يسترها معاك دنيا ويبعد عنك كل شر، ويبعد عنك ولاد الحرام. الله يبارك لك يا ابني. كفايه قوي وهو شايل الهم فينا يا ابني.
ويخليك لينا وعملت لنا كل حاجة حلوة وعيشتنا في امان، وربنا يديك صحتك ويخليك لينا ويحافظ عليك. الشعب بيجي تمام من صحتك يا سيسي، ربنا يخليك لينا.
ده يعني عامل حاجات جامده جدا للبلد والناس مش حاسه بيه. مش حاسه بيه. عامل مشاريع جامده قوي كنا بنحلم بيها زمان واتعملت المشاريع الضغط القياسي ما حدش انجزه من اي رئيس من رؤساء سابقين ابدا. الراجل كتر خيره والله.
خليك لينا يا سيسي وبارك فيك ويكفيك شر اللي يأذيك وينجيك من كل شر ويخليك لبلدنا يا رب. وانت صراحه عامل لنا حاجات مش لينا ممكن تبقى لاولاد ولادنا وربنا ينجيك ويكفيك شر اللي يأذيك ويكفيك شر الناس اللي عماله تتبلى عليك.
هو اللي جه حمى البلد من الارهابيين. ده راجل عمل لنا كل حاجه حلوه في البلد، عمل لنا تحاليل الفيروس وعمل لنا مستشفيات والمدارس والكباري ديت كنا بنقف الساعتين 3 وما كناش بنعرف نروح مشاورنا، بقينا نروح. وحته الامن ديت والله العظيم انا عايز اقول لك الواحد بقى بيمشي مطمن، بنته بترجع من الساعه 9 الساعه 10 بالليل في امان. ربنا يخليه لينا يا رب. احنا معاك يا ريس ويسقط الخونه.
ما تخافوش على مصر، خافوا عاللي جه عليها واللي عادوا مصر شافوا شر من يعديها. اصل ناسها ولاد حلال، مصر على رأي اللي قال ربنا اللي حميها.
Yes, مصر على رأي اللي قال ربنا اللي حميها. God bless Egypt.
Yes.
God bless our army. God bless our president. Professor Amin, we're talking about social media challenges today, and the targets, those who are spreading fake news, usually target teens. So why is social media today and the challenges of social media so popular with the teens, in your opinion?
With the teens?
Yes.
You know, people who were born in the year 2000, those people were born with mobile phones, and before 1993, the X and Y generations, they are born with the internet. They can't live without the internet, so they are connected. And social media, when it arrived in the beginning of the millennium, they automatically start using it, and the more they use it, the more they are connected, because social media is not social media for Egypt or social media for Saudi or social media. Social media, it's connecting the teens with the teens of the world, with the connection. It's a tool, it's a global tool, so they know about things that I don't know about. They know about certain artists, for example, in the U.S. or in Japan. I have no clue. So there are, in a way, connected to a point that we define it as semi-addiction. But it is the way that you know, was introduced to them, and there is nothing that we can do to help them but provide them with guidance. And over here, guidance is not the responsibility of the Egyptian government alone. It's the responsibility of the parents. It's the responsibility of the schools. And the responsibility of the media, because also there are certain programs that and messages. There are so many messages that we can send through the social media. It's very easy, as well as complementary with the traditional media. targeting teens with appeals to teens. So we make sure to make them aware as part of our responsibility.
Yeah, and part of the responsibility of the state is to raise awareness of the Egyptian youth. We are investing the youth. The 8th National Youth Conference came amid series of conferences, and even the World Youth Forum that is listening to the youth mainly was a target and addressing the youth.
By the way, if you allow me,
yes, sure.
with your permission,
sure.
This is something that is very unique.
Yes.
And Egypt is the country that really taking advantage of the youth and putting together events, bringing the youth from all over the world, providing a platform for all of them, making them understand about the culture of each other, forming new friendships. All of this is not going to be capitalized today, but we will see the benefits of this tomorrow. Because all of this, people who came to Egypt and went back to their countries, they started to affect their families and their communities, as well as the exchange of messages between them and the Egyptian youth are almost on daily basis.
Yes.
And this kind of formation is, in my book, is a global formation that Egypt is not yet take any advantage of it, but again, in the future is going to kick back, and you will see a new platform that is being introduced to the world within few years based on this kind of conferences.
Yes.
It's a brilliant idea.
Definitely a brilliant idea and a rich idea. Unfortunately, our time is out. However, we could talk for hours about a very important topic. I thank you very much for the valuable information. As always, Professor Dr. Hussein Amin, who is head of the Kamal Adham Center for Journalism, Digital Journalism at AUC, Professor of Mass Communication and Journalism. Thank you very much. Always an honor to have you. And thank you for all the valuable info and knowing more about social media challenges today, how to address, how to regulate, and how also to be always ahead, to be a step ahead in fighting any sort of repercussions. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Taghreed Hussein. That was the Daily Debate for tonight.